All right, this lesson is called Text Features, How to Navigate Everything That Isn't Regular Text. So this is going to be all about when you're reading expository text mostly, what different kinds of things you can expect to see, what they're called, and what they do. So why should you care about this? Why is this something that you should worry about? Well, text features include everything in a text that isn't the regular words. Novels, newspapers, plays, and textbooks all include text features. That's a lot of things that you read, pretty much everything you're going to be reading for the rest of your life. Today we're going to focus on some of the most common text features, especially those that can appear in a textbook or a newspaper. If you learn the purpose of text features as well as why they are important, you're going to gain more out of what you are reading. They are there for a reason. That's what I always say, right? That is there for a reason. They don't just put that in there to fill space or because they don't know what else to do. It's there to help you as a reader and to teach you something new. So you need to pay attention to them and learn something from them because that will enhance your overall understanding of the text. All right, we're going to start with three of the most common, and these three people get mixed up a lot. So those are table of contents, index, and glossary, and those three are in most textbooks. Table of contents is at the beginning. It is a list of major chapters or section of a text. It may include subheads. It is listed by page number. So when you open the book and you want to see, hey, where's the chapter on animal cells, right? You'll see that, and then you can go to that page number. Now the index is at the end. It lists all the topics in the book. They're listed alphabetically by topic. So let's say again, I wanted to figure out where the animal cells were. Well, I'd flip. I'd probably look for cells and then animal, and then it would tell me all the pages in the book where it talks about animal cells. Now the glossary is also at the end. It's super helpful. It's basically kind of like a mini dictionary specific to that book. It includes definitions of major terms in the text. So any major new words or phrases that readers probably didn't know before reading the book, it includes all of those in one handy place for you. So here's some examples. Over here is an index. All right. So let's say I just got my new telephone and I wanted to learn how I can get on the internet with my phone. So I go to I, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay, internet. Where's it at? Internet. Great. Page 4. So then I can flip, page 4. Now over here, this is a table of contents where it's not, sorry, that was my fault. It's not alphabetically by topic. It just goes in order by page number. So if you want to see what is coming up in different sections of the book, that's what that's for. So if you want to know what's coming up in your book, use your table of contents. If you want to find specific topics in the book, use your index. All right, now, headings and sections all have different names. A headline is what you call the title of a news story in a newspaper. A subhead is what you call a heading inside of a news story. There may be multiple levels. So the headline is the title for the whole news story, but then that story might be broken up into little sections and little chunks. And each of those little chunks, if they have a title attached to them, those are called subheads. A heading is another way of saying subhead, but it's more widely used. Subhead is just usually particular to journalism. And again, there might be more than one heading, like headings within headings. A sidebar is a separate section of text about a subtopic set aside in a box. So you'll have like the whole story, and then there'll be like a separate side story about something else, and it's usually set off in a little colored box with maybe like its own little picture, and that's called a sidebar. So here's an example of headlines, subheads, and sidebars. Got a little bit of all that in here. So here's the headline. This is actually called a jump over here. This story actually started on another page and then continued on a later page in the newspaper. So the person was reading the page, and then they're like, oh, where's the rest of the story? And it told you, okay, go to like page 5 or whatever. So then you flip, and you go to 5 and you keep reading. So this right here is actually called a jump head, but that's like super technical journalism stuff. Don't worry about that. This is basically your headline. And then look at here, okay? The story is divided up into different smaller sections to help the reader keep track of the different ideas, and these are called the subheads, okay? And over here, it might be a little hard to see from the copy, but this is a shaded box set off on the side where it just kind of summarizes everything, the whole issue for the voters, and it is a sidebar. This sidebar is a separate little story within the story, okay? All right, here's the fun part. Pictures, graphs, and graphics. Photos or pictures may have words underneath them that describe what is happening. These are called captions or cut lines. These two words mean the exact same thing, except cut line is more broadly said in journalism. So when you're reading a newspaper and you see the words under the pictures, don't call that a caption, call that a cut line. Some news articles and textbooks include graphs. There are many types, like bar graph, circle graph, line graph, and you're going to learn about those a lot, probably in your math class. We'll talk about them in our class as we encounter them if they're relevant to what we are reading and we need to learn about them, but I'm not going to teach you guys too much about how to get into really complex analysis of graphs, but just I want you to be able to understand them enough to get the information from them as you're reading. A graphic, sometimes called an infographic, includes information and pictures. So it's like a picture and a graph got smushed together, and they're really fun. So we've got some pictures of those different things here. Here is a picture. Whoops, sorry. Here is a picture with a caption, also called a cut line if this was in a newspaper. This was actually from a book, so this is called a caption in this case. This, of course, is a graph. Specifically, this one is a bar graph. And over here we have one of these cool infographics, right? So here's a picture of a guy with some yellow around him, and it says, "Are you guilty of polluting the pool?" So it's like a bar graph, but it, you know, the little guy, the bars are in the pool and there's yellow going up. Not showering before swimming, 35%. This was the part that really grossed me out. 17% of people pee in the pool. That's disgusting. Get out and go pee. See, this is why infographics are great, because they make you think about the topic more, right? Gross. People are gross. All right, other stuff. Pay attention to text that has been underlined, bolded, or italicized. Textbooks do this a lot for vocabulary words. So if you see cell and it's bolded, you know, that usually, nucleus, bold. There's a reason for that. They want you to pay attention to that. Do not just skip over text features. They are there for a reason. That is there for you, to help you pay attention to the ideas that are important. All right, so here are, again, this is supposed to be, this is not all of them. We can go on and on and on and on, but these are some of the most important. So go ahead and write these down, get them down, start looking for them, start paying attention to them, reading them, using them to help you enhance your understanding of text. So pause the slide and write these down in your notebook. And I'm going to hide my little self down in here. Here is a skill check where you are going to look at each of these pictures and figure out what they are. Now, if you're thinking, but I can't read the words, I can't read what they say, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't need to be able to read this whole story about Putin in order to identify these text features. You should be able to glance at it quickly and be able to tell exactly what it is. So that is what this skill check is all about. Hope you understood everything today. If not, just reach out. I'm here to help.